Guys, I have a serious question for you. Do you guys really love watching Lemon Drops podcasts?
Fact or cap?
You guys let us know.
Welcome to Lemon Drops.
As you guys can tell from our little intro, we are going to be playing a little game today instead of just talking.
So we decided to play a game, fact or cap, and we're going to ask each other about basically things that we've been talking about our prior podcasts. And we basically... episodes, and we basically took that and we are asking each other questions and to decide if it's actually true or false.
A fact or a cap. So we found these questions on these fact or cap questions online based on, we kind of just looked up some questions that we talked about in the past episodes, and we're kind of just going to go off of that and then give a little background on what we think about it. And we thought this would be a little fun because
this way we get to learn and have fun playing a game. So I wrote down questions for her and she wrote down questions for me, so we're going to guess if it's fact or cap.
Yeah.
So cheers.
We have a little Capri Suns here because we were sick of lemon water.
That's a lie. We love lemons.
Obviously. And then Aunt Jay's on a diet right now, so we have booty.
I hate you. If you leave that in, I'll cry. Okay, we're gonna start asking each other questions.
I'll go first.
Okay.
So basically, we have, how many each do we have?
Oh look, it
might hear you chewing the whole time.
It's not. I'm keeping my mouth closed.
No, I know, but I can hear what you said.
You got us popcorn.
I know, but I scoot back a little bit. Okay.
So we wrote down basically questions for each other, and we're gonna see what the other one says if they think it's fact or cap.
So I'm gonna stop. And you guys also play as we go as well. And you guys can kind of guess and let us know how many you guys got right. What?
Nothing. Go.
We have an audience.
Okay.
We got 3 comments. Shout out to Mariah, our biggest supporter who always comments on every episode. And whoever other people, it's not all family. We have nobody. Okay. Okay, fact or cap?
Okay.
Catholic theology teaches happiness and holiness are separate things.
A fact.
It's actually a cap.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Can you read me the question? I don't think I comprehended it.
Catholic theology teaches happiness and holiness as separate things.
I'm going to debunk that. I think they're lying, the internet.
The church teaches true fulfillment comes from living according to God's will, not separating joy and virtue. They actually go together. Having the virtue brings joy.
I don't want to be wrong with the show.
That's not part of the game.
Okay, this is why I disagree with it. Because if you follow our faith, you will end in happiness. So it is happiness.
But it goes together. They don't teach it as separate things.
Yeah.
They teach it as going together as well.
What was the question?
Catholic theology teaches happiness and holiness is separate things.
I think the camera's intimidating me. I'm not comprehending what you're asking.
It's okay to be wrong, you know.
Shut up. Okay.
Oh boy. This is going to turn into a fight.
Okay.
Should we go based off that? Is that there's not really much to go off of that.
I mean, we can. It's just we have quite a few questions.
Okay, go.
Catholic teaching supports living together first as best test for marriage compatibility.
Yeah, that's obviously a cap.
Yeah, no. The church does not permit you to live together before you get married because it can blur emotional spirituality and other boundaries. No, you have to get married.
Well, I think it ruins just the whole experience about it, getting married, and it ruins a lot because the whole fun part of marriage is experiencing something new. So I feel that's it's gonna get it in. You need to back up.
It's fine. It makes the podcast funny. We're gonna be lame talking about it the whole time.
Okay.
When you see people eat online, it makes you more interested, right? At least it makes me.
Okay. I'm not fighting with the pregnant lady right now about her food.
Go ahead, we have to
do a little snack. No, but don't you think like it kind of just ruins like the whole like having so much fun, like when you date you can't do something, but then when you get married it's like you look forward to something. And now, like in modern culture, no one looks forward to marriage anymore, and no one gets married anymore.
Well, modern culture more views it now like you should live together first to see if you're compatible. And in reality, no, that's awful, because when you're not living together, now it teaches you how to work together on a spiritual level, and on a on another level that's not just going off emotions now. So
the whole point of dating is to get to know each other. It's funny because one of my coworkers asked me when they found out I'm engaged, they were like, "Oh, you're not even living with the person? Like, how do you know?" And then he was like, "I lived with a girl for a year, and that's when I knew she wasn't the one. And watch, you're gonna come back in a year, and you're gonna be like, you told me, like, you're right." And I'm like, no, like, you don't need to live with somebody to get married, like, or to find out if they're actually the one for you. Because, I mean, let's be honest, these people aren't living with them just to like.
It's a hookup culture these days.
Exactly. And they're not doing it, "Oh, I want to get to know you. I want to know your daily life." Like, come on now. Like, the whole point of, why can't you guys hang out all day together and then leave each other like late at night? Dang.
That's great.
But anyways.
And like, hello too, like, you know, why would you want to live with a person before marriage? You know, I don't want to give myself to a boyfriend. It's going to be my husband.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Next question.
Oh, that's me. Okay. Okay, make sure you get this one right, okay? Modern dating culture has made long-term commitment harder than it was 50 years ago.
Oh, yeah. That's fact. Totally.
You know, when I seen this, it's because, like,
Sociology?
No, ologist.
Sociologist?
Yeah, sociologist. That's my words here.
That's okay. Sociologist.
Yeah. I mean, they kind of like did an experiment kind of thing, and it's because people just have endless options nowadays. And
I don't think that's it, in my personal opinion, though. I don't think it's because they have endless options. I think it's just nobody wants to commit anymore because there's no consequences, right? You get married, you don't want to be with that person anymore, so you leave them. There's no consequences.
I think it goes beyond just what were you saying?
Because I think
it's what?
I said I think that the reason why is because there's no consequences, which is why people just.
I think that is a factor in it, but I also think it's because, you know, people do have endless options now. When they don't feel secure in a relationship, they don't have a fear of losing being in a relationship anymore, because no one values the relationship. They just it's hookup culture again. Those dating apps now, the social media now, and there's so many options now. Those one night stands now. So
the majority of people are not looking for long-term commitment or at least a lot of people are not looking for a long-term commitment anymore. So it makes it easy to just bounce around.
Back then, a lot of people entered a relationship, you know, knowing what it's going to take. It has faith, love, and sacrifice, and, you know, growing together. And these people were willing to put their lives on the line for the other person. And now that's not how people view anything about relationships. So back then, it's like it was harder to get into a relationship, where now it's not. It's easy to find someone.
Basically, people just have no consequences these days. There will be consequences when you die, but...
And there's no endless options.
Next.
Why can't it be both?
It can be, but
yeah, but you said at the end of the day, it's because of consequences.
Drink your juice. Capri Sun. Older generations often expected marriage to involve sacrifice and duty, not just romance.
In the older?
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact.
Yes. Older generations did view marriage more importantly because it was based off, I would say, less emotional and more off duties and obligation and commitment and sacrifice. Unfortunately, a lot of you guys lost that. But
let me see it again. Oh yeah. Well, the whole point of like love, like the whole point of love is sacrifice. It's not about, like, when you get married, you can't just hop into a marriage thinking, oh, I love this person, that's why I want to marry them, because a marriage isn't gonna be perfect. There's gonna be those hard times and those times that God's gonna throw crosses at you, and you're gonna need to figure it out with your spouse.
And I think a lot of people too go into marriage looking for what they can gain off of it. Well, he does this for me, 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 and they're not paying attention to what are you putting into the marriage.
Well, exactly.
It's supposed to be self-sacrifice.
And exactly, like I said in another episodes, like, a lot of people view it as, what do I get for this? And you need to view this marriage as, what can I give to you? What can I sacrifice for you? How do I put my life on the line for you and make you happy? And so, yeah, I do believe back then, that's why marriages worked out a little better back then, because people didn't hop into marriage just saying that they love a person. They hopped in knowing, I'm going to sacrifice for you. I'm going to love you. No matter what we go through, we're going to get through it together. And, I mean, there's so many consequences now in marriages because it's not how it was before. But that's all I have to say. So, let's move on.
Okay, next question.
What?
Nothing.
By the way, we were supposed to wear yellow, and
what is
she
this?
said no, she wanted to wear brown.
You bought me this shirt.
Not this.
Oh my golly. Okay.
I just want to point out my ring real quick so people don't think I ended it.
She broke it off. She didn't do self-sacrifice.
I said screw this. No, my new job doesn't do
jewelry on the
fingers, so I have to wear a band to work. So I went there, and then I came home, had to edit, and then I just came here, so I didn't switch it out.
For the record, I do edit the videos, but then she doesn't like the way I edit, so she re-edits, so now I just gave up on editing.
Yeah, if you want to see just our face in the videos, then we'll have her edit them.
What do you guys come to hear us talk?
Okay, anyways.
Okay, next question.
Thank you. Many people today fear commitment more than previous generations.
Feel more commitment?
Fear.
Oh, fear commitment. Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah. We were just talking about that actually we just talked about that. People don't want to commit anymore these days. I still go back to because there's no consequences, but also people don't want to sacrifice. They really don't. They just want to, whatever benefits them and stuff. Nobody wants to sacrifice.
Well, like studies and culture commentators, at least from what we've seen online, like they were saying that the fear of commitment rises because of people so uncertain about the relationship, and how modern dating culture has changed them back then, and just things like, what was my question? I totally forgot about my question. Hold on.
Modern day fear.
Oh yeah. So like, again, with the commitment, like, it's so, people just don't see marriage as I shouldn't even say marriage anymore, just dating in general. Now loyalty isn't coming in. Now being respectful isn't coming into consideration with these relationships. And it's all because people fear it, but they fear it because, they've seen divorce rates go up, and, they've seen so many fights happening, and like between parents, and so that I feel like that's why people kind of fear it too, because they see a lot of people.
I don't like when guys, because I've heard a few guys say like, I want a traditional girl, I want a traditional wife and stuff, but then they're going out and hooking up with different chicks and stuff. What makes you think we want you when you're living that type of lifestyle? You know what I mean? If you want a good, respectable girl, respect yourself.
Well, people go based on what other people say now too. So now, waiting till marriage is a very surprise to people now. And now, because it's crazy when the world laughs at that. Like, they're like, oh, you're waiting till marriage? Like, what the heck kind of thing. And they're so shocked and surprised. And it's like, you really don't value yourself?
I took a women's study class in college. And the teacher was talking all about how there's so many teen pregnancies and stuff these days. And they were talking about, like, you know, their solutions, which was birth control and stuff, which I totally disagreed with. And, you know, me being like Catholic and everything, I raised my hand thinking everybody would agree with me. And I said, I know how to stop this. I said, let's just stop being intimate before marriage, thinking the class would all agree with me. They all laughed, like as if I was telling a joke, and I was like, "Oh."
Also, no. It's true. People laugh at it now, and it shocks me because it's like, oh my goodness, now like our world is really going down. But anyways, we've talked about that. Is it my turn? Your turn?
My turn.
Oh, okay.
Modern beauty standards are heavily influenced by social media algorithms and trends.
Oh, that is. I know that's a fact because social media has influenced so many people's perception about so many things.
That's cap. No, it's fact.
That is so stupid. I was actually going to say, really? I'm actually
No,
shocked.
that's fact, yeah. And it's just, you know, unfortunately, it is. There are standards for, you know, constantly looking young, right? You never want to look older. Constantly looking young, you know, constantly having the figure, looking hot and everything. And social media does play into that because the more you know, constantly fix yourself up and get, you know, work done and everything, the more attention you will seek from social media. It's just kind of how the whole, you know, how it all works in that media game.
The thing with social media is...
come on, why do you think they're watching us?
It's so dumb. The thing with social media, though, is there's so much fake on there. And, you know, it's like when people post going back to, like, relationships and you know, beauty, and now these little kids are looking like they're growing up as they have to wear makeup. And I mean, I shouldn't, like, I always wanted to wear makeup growing up, but I'm thankful that my mom didn't let us because we did go through that kid phase. Because we have social media, obviously. I don't know if you scroll, but like all these little kids, it's like skincare routines and all this stuff, but now it's the way they pose. And these little girls, their moms are not teaching them that the way you pose is who is gonna
attract attention.
Yeah, how you pose is gonna attract the wrong attention. And now these guys are commenting on these little girls' pages, and these girls love it because they're getting that attention and everything. But
they don't understand the significance of the evilness behind it.
No, exactly. And these men are just disgusting. But it does go with, guys too, you know? Like, these other guys are posting, like, them being, like, ripped and all this stuff. And then you have those little boys, like, being, like, you know, they have the little kid fat. Because, you know, before you grow tall, you obviously need some skin. And so many depression has started. But again, relationships too. I feel like that's another thing with commitment is people aren't loyal to anyone anymore because they see other people's perception on relationships when really people just post the good stuff on it. Like, don't you agree? Like, people are just like highlights. These are the highlights of my dates, but really you don't know, like, we had a fight at the end of that, you know? And no one knows the bad part of relationships. So when someone, like these teenagers or whatever, are entering these relationships, they go in thinking it's going to be perfect, and then they have one fight, and they're like, what the heck? I thought relationships were perfect, because that's all they see on social media.
Next question.
Fact or cap? Feminism originally focused mainly on legal rights like voting and property ownership.
Fact.
Yes.
But I disagree with that. I'll tell you why. I read the book on how feminism got started and everything. They were not just standing up for, you know, what did it say? Voting or whatever?
Yeah, voting and property ownership.
We talked about this in our last podcast. It started to stop the whole traditional family and all that stuff, but we already got into it last podcast. But I agree with half that statement.
These women were standing up for jobs, weren't they? Like, that's how when feminism started, they were standing up for, they wanted to work and they wanted education. But now it goes beyond that. It goes like, I mean, we talked about it in the last episode.
Yeah, the people who started it, their intentions was much worse, but...
Well, we don't talk about that.
Well, we did our last one, that's why I don't want to cover it too much.
Okay.
Catholic teaching says wives should never have opinions different from their husbands.
That is a cat.
Yes.
Okay.
No, the Catholic Church teaches, obviously, that marriage should hold mutual boundary respect and decisions and opinions and stuff, you know? You can have your separate ones, but you have that respect for each other in the end, their opinions and stuff.
Well, because like we said in the past, marriage is not a competition. It's not who's right and who's wrong. The goal is just to work with each other.
Yeah, and of course you'll have different opinions because you're brought up differently. You are different people. But ultimately, though, you are having respect for each other's opinions and stuff. You take it into account and, you know, you talk about it.
Yeah, I agree with that one. Not the statement with you.
What statement?
I agree with you, not the statement. Not the fact. The cat. What was it?
What?
It was cat. Whatever you wrote on the piece of paper, I don't agree with. I agree with what you said.
That was funny. Okay.
Okay. Ooh. Oh, we kind of talked about this. I forgot about it. Divorce rates increased dramatically during late 20th century.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it was a fact.
Yeah, because, yeah, totally. I agree with that one. And, you know, it's funny because, you know, I love watching, you know, films from the 30s, 40s, 50s. And, you know, it did show marriages and stuff like that. Divorce wasn't too common among those type of movies. And then I read up about all the celebrities, and Hollywood was always evil in a sense. All the actors and actresses and stuff were all, you know, there was no commitment or that stuff going on as they sometimes portrayed in the movies. What was the question?
I was like, where are you going? Divorce rates increased dramatically during the 20th century.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I totally agree with that.
Well, you have, like, legal reforms, and you have social normals now. So everything changed. Everything had different views back then. So now
I think that also goes back to what I said too, though, when I said
I didn't know what you said. I wasn't listening.
Really? Because you answered. It was off one of my cards.
Oh, I thought you said like what you just said.
No.
Oh. Okay. Attitude. What did you say about it?
How we talked about how it's because the culture back then believed in sacrifice and duties more so over than just emotions. And these days now people get married just based, honestly, mostly off just emotions and self-fulfillment. So I think that's why divorce significantly went up. It's a very selfish culture we live in. I blame the parents.
And I think it also goes with people's attitudes towards marriage permanence too. Like, I think that's how you pronounce it. Permanence. You know, people just have a different attitude when they hear the word even marriage. Like, they think that they have to change their whole selves for it. And it goes with what we were saying about divorce rate. No one has the views like that we had. So, we kind of already covered that one. Huh?
Yeah.
Like divorce and everything. I definitely.
Modesty in Catholic culture only applies to women. Actually,
I just recently thought it did until I found out that it wasn't. And
so you think it's...
That is... Wait, it said only applies to women? Yeah. That's cap.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, men, have dignity, respect for yourself. You know, come on.
Well, me and her were actually recently, like, talking about it. And, you know, we brought up guys at beaches. What the heck? That was my phone. What the heck was that? You know, guys at beaches. Like, you would only think that girls would have, like, you always hear girls be modest, like, dress good, don't dress trashy, and all this stuff.
Respect yourself and
Yeah,
stuff. But it's
what
for the
about
guys too.
men too? Like, they're the same thing. And I mean,
you want to have that dignity. And first of all, yeah, guys, do not wear Speedos. That, to me, that's not even like a sovereign. You're just totally dissing your entire self. People are making fun of you.
Yeah,
it is a horrible look. I never understood that type of fashion.
I don't understand it.
It's not even fashion. I think they're just really desperate.
Seeing like a guy shirtless, like people are like, don't get any thoughts, and I'm like, they don't look ugly to me, but I'm not gonna be like, oh my gosh, like take off your shirt, like you look so hot without a shirt. Like,
well, I think we learn to train our minds to just
maybe that's it.
Look away and just not
not even have that thought in our head.
But guys and girls are made different. Where I think it's more tempting to a guy when they look at a girl compared to when a girl looks at a guy.
Well, it's true. Like for I mean, look at like the saints and how God tempted them. Like Saint Padre Pio. Like Saint Padre Pio got tempted with a bunch of naked women because I've never actually heard a girl saint getting tempted by guys, like in that way.
I haven't either.
Yeah. I mean, I just haven't heard of it. Not saying that it never happened, but I just never heard about it. But you always hear that it's true, though. Like, guys have that mindset where they, I guess, sin a little more with, like...
Their temptations are stronger in that area, I guess.
Their temptations are stronger, but it's just a natural thing because they always say...
Yeah, but I mean, overall, we should all hold that standard of modesty because we will all be judged, man or woman.
Period.
Did you ask that question or did I?
Yeah.
No, I asked it. Okay.
Historically, women often became mothers at a younger age back then.
I'm going to say cap, actually.
Really? Why do you say
I feel like the teen pregnancies are way high up than it was in more the 50s. I know mothers got married younger. I mean, I know women got married younger, more towards the 50s, but now there's more teen pregnancies.
There are all more teen pregnancy, but you also need to know that there's more birth control and other people and other contraceptions that arose in the last few years.
Can you give me the statistics?
I can't give you like percentages or anything like that, but I mean, I would
see.
I would just automatically I always thought like back then it was actually like you know, in the culture back then, people, like, kids did get married young at, like, 16 and having kids way younger than what they are now. So, yeah, there's a bunch of teen pregnancy. But, I mean, think about it. There's so much ways of not having a baby than I think people actually conceiving and keeping the baby. Too.
What was that question?
Women often became mothers at a younger age back then than now. But I think this one meant like purposely, not accidentally. I don't know, but I'm just guessing that this just meant like historically moms just became younger at a young age, you know?
Then if it's like, okay, in that aspect, fact, women got married a lot younger back then and had families off the bat and stuff, where today's term, they're not getting married young, but there's a lot of teen pregnancies out there.
Well, like I said, like back then there was culture expectations and, you know, for economic reasons.
What was the answer?
It was fact.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, move on.
Okay. The average age of marriage today is significantly older than it was in the 50s.
Ooh. Wait, what? Repeat?
The average age of marriage today is significantly older than it was in the 1950s.
So it was older today than it was back then.
So people are older now getting married than it was back then.
I think that's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Culture changes, obviously, and just everything. Economical and, everyone's just getting married later.
Well, it
is hard economically, but I think culture has a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
Because, it's frowned upon getting married at 21, which is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because, they're looking at 21-year-olds like you're still babies, and it's like, well, that's why our society is so screwed up, because you're not treating a 20-year-old like a man when he is a man. You know what I mean? It's just...
Marriage was once viewed as such a big step in life, and a commitment, and a huge sacrament, is now just viewed as, it's not even viewed. I feel like there's not even a lot of official marriages now. They just live together before marriage. But we already talked about that. So, okay. Soft girl culture and traditional feminism are the same thing.
Yeah, the whole culture on social media and stuff is all about, yourself, or soft girl as they call it now. It's all about yourself and just, whatever's in it for you. Feminism back then was much, much more different. It was all about, portraying the life of a woman, which would be, taking on cooking and cleaning and the wonderful mother roles and all that stuff. And, they're totally different.
Soft girl culture is aesthetic based. It's very internet aesthetic based in general. Where in the Catholic historical viewpoint, it was more about sacrifice, faith, love, things like that. Mm-hmm. So it goes based on what you were saying. A lot of people now just think of themselves, and I need this day off for myself. I need self-care, I need this, and all about me now, and it's nothing about other people. But yeah, it was cap.
The church teaches motherhood has equal dignity to careers and public achievements.
What?
The Catholic Church teaches motherhood has equal dignity to careers and public achievements.
That's definitely a fact.
Yeah, definitely a fact. The Catholic Church holds it as high dignity. Dignity is not a status. It's, who you are as a person.
I didn't get your answer after that, to be honest.
Did you get the question?
Yeah. No, for sure. Motherhood is just as equal and as
the Catholic Church basically doesn't look at it like they value motherhood as a high status, but not just off because you're a mother, but they base off dignity more as not a status, but who you are as a person, how you are as a mother. Right? Just because you're a mother doesn't make you a great person. It's how you are as a mother.
It's how you are, and how much time you put into your kids, because you have those moms out there who are having kids. They're like, I'm a mom, and then you go and they are not investing any time in these children whatsoever. So to actually get the role and to be a mom, that also, it comes with sacrifice for the love of your children as well. And being a mom, you need to raise your kids to know, love, and serve God. And that's why I was gonna go.
I saw your finger go. And then I was like, oh, she's rolling.
Guy. I'm not gonna eat right now. What was I going with that? Yeah, so the whole reason of becoming it's just not just having kids. That doesn't make you a mom per se. What you put into your kids and the time you put into your kids will consider your role as a mother. And I can't super speak, I'm not a mom, but from my viewpoint. Are you enjoying your Capri Sun?
Yes, I'm listening to you.
Okay. You got another one?
No. Okay. I have to save it for my kids because I'm sacrificing.
Good. You keep distracting me. But So yeah, and like I said, I don't know. I don't have kids because obvious reasons. I'm not putting that in. No, but yeah, so anyways, yeah, kids.
Okay, ask your question.
Okay. In past generations, large families were often considered a blessing rather than a burden.
Duh. Total fact. Yeah, it was looked as a blessing back then. It's still a blessing now, but a lot of people don't view it as a blessing because back then they looked at big families was always considered a blessing because they had the children help out with family life and duties and communities and stuff like that. And today, they're looked at like, well, if you have kids, they shouldn't help out with the other kids because that's wrong. Yeah, you're not supposed to make them do take on the mother role. But if you ask a kid to load up the dishwasher, or if you ask a kid to, maybe ask your 12-year-old son to take off the trash, you're giving him responsibility. You're teaching him responsibility. Otherwise, they're going to grow up spoiled and thinking only of themselves. It's important to have your kids help out in the house and help out with family life to teach them, and in the end, they are very grateful and they walk up, looking at things so positive and they're not just complaining growing up.
Yeah, I agree. No, that's how, no, you did good.
I'm not looking at you for recognition.
Okay.
I'm looking at you to talk.
We're not putting that. That's for you, Grandpa.
What?
Because I always play with my hair. I'm trying not to play with my hair because he thinks I'm lice. I just do it because that's my nervous thing that I do. I swear I don't have lice, Grandpa. Anyways, it definitely, family life definitely contributed to family and lifestyle and the workforce and having duties. But it's you kind of nailed it on point. It's really important because how you raise your kids is how our world is kind of going to be. How you raise your kids is going to impact how the world is going to be. And if you raise your kids trashy, that's why you have a bunch of those kids that are getting fights in malls, stealing, doing drugs, and on the streets. And if you don't raise your kids to work hard and that you can't achieve anything without putting as much work as into it, what you want, you have to sacrifice for it. And now you have those kids that are not at all hardworking people. So when we have more homeless people and we have more people on drugs, you have like those people on drugs, but also that they don't want to work, so now they're homeless. It's true, don't you think? Like how you raise your kids is how our world is going to be in the future. Because back then you had those, we had like those generations, and the Gen Z generation is not very, it's more self-care in the soft girl era,
It really lost its way.
Yeah, it really has.
But we're here to show you the way. No.
The way, the truth, and the life.
Very nice. It's in the Bible.
That one is not by the Godfather.
Yes. We had said that. She said that. She said that Jesus said that keep your friends closer and your enemies closer.
I mixed it up.
Jesus never said that, and I don't know why I agreed with her. I for some reason agreed with her because I trusted that she knew what she was doing. Trust in the Lord, not in people always. Anyways.
You can't say anyways to that. No, it's because I grew up with my mom always telling me that, but she never said it was from God, but she always names things from Jesus. And so I assumed that was from Jesus, but obviously it was from the Godfather, so.
So really, we're blaming your mom.
No.
We'll put her name in the description.
It wasn't my mom's fault, but she just taught me so much religion growing up, which I'm so thankful for, that like everything she says, I bring it back to Jesus. That one I should not have brought to Jesus. Carry on.
In older generations, community and family pressure influence dating choices more strongly.
What?
In older generations, community and family pressure influence dating choices more strongly.
And back then?
Yeah, older cultures.
Oh yeah, I think that's a fact.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
It played a much larger role in families and dignity and holding that standard.
Well, yeah, I would assume definitely people had a lot to say into, like, you had those arranged marriages.
I mean, people's standards keep going lower and lower and lower and lower, and now look where we are.
Screwed up in the head.
Not us, but you. A lot of you guys.
Not a lot of you guys, just those people out in the world that are just like
having no respect for others and themselves.
Exactly. Yeah, and we're not perfect either.
Yeah.
Okay, my question.
You suck.
Why? I didn't even do anything. Anyways, social media has changed what people expect from relationships.
Yes.
Yeah, we talked a little bit on that.
We talked all about that. What I think it is that all our movies, music, everything around us is just constantly romance and lovey-dovey and just, the guy's always doing stuff for the girls and everything's just roses, and they don't really have a lot of stuff explaining that when you walk into a marriage or even relationship, you're not always just constantly everything's roses. It's just life.
Kind of what we
we already went through that
on one of the calls about marriage and divorce rates and stuff. People are hopping into these marriages thinking that I just love this person. But I mean, it sets a lot of the social media too, which I guess social media does have to go with like what's on the TV, anything about the phones. And it's true. Everything is so perfect about love. When you fall in love with someone, it's all fairy tales. Nothing goes wrong. And I found the love of my life. And no, like the whole thing about a relationship is about sacrifice. And, that's what true love is.
Yeah, and your marriage and relationships get stronger with the more hurdles you go through. Because, when you get challenges.
On each other.
Yeah, when you get challenges and, life hits you hard, whether it's financial problems or, sickness problems, you depend on each other and you get through it, and it makes your bond stronger. Where when you have nothing going on ever wrong and everything's lovey-dovey, question your partner, because... If you don't have fights in your relationship, then it is not a perfect I hate when I hear people say we never fight.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well then one of you all is hiding something from the other. And when we say fight, we don't obviously mean like physical or anything. We just mean arguments and stuff.
Wait, you don't? Just kidding. No, I'm kidding.
No, when we say fight, we don't mean physically. We just mean, arguments and stuff. Every couple argues, and because you're two people completely different.
And that's what, I mean, you ever hear the opposites attract, like, kind of saying? And it's true, like, you have those differences, but that's what makes your relationship so fun and different, too. Like, and it levels each other's out, because, like, my fiance, he's, like, the goofy type, where he doesn't care what people think at all, and he's just, like, whoa.
Free fun and everything, and then Diane super cares what people think, and about her reputation and everything, so...
Care about what you think. No, I knew the second you interrupted me, you were going to say something. I was I care what people think kind of thing, and so, like, we balance each other out. Like, I make sure he doesn't do that dumb things in public. And he, brings me out of my comfort zone sometimes, but I don't regret it. So, I mean, it's true. When you find that balance in a relationship, it makes it just as equal fun.
And the longer you are together, too, the more you start becoming a little bit like them in certain ways.
Oh, yeah.
Like certain foods. I used to not be like a peanut butter person. Now I become more because Chase is. Also, like, I used to hate, like, certain movies, like, and, like, more like sci-fi. I was never really into that. Now I'm starting to like it more. So, and then, he goes my way more. So it's just kind of all fun. But anyways, I'm out of popcorn and juice. So I'm pretty done. No, I don't want your bag. Bill.
You really finished everything.
It's a small bag of popcorn and a Capri Sun. For like an hour we've been sitting here, and I'm 6 months pregnant. What do you think?
You're only 2 months.
Shut up. 6 months.
We filmed this long ago, guys. It's not 6 months. No, I'm kidding. Are you really 6 months?
Yes, I'm 6 months.
No, but yeah, that wraps up our.
Yes, I'm 6.
Yes, you're 6 months. Goodness. Guess what line on here now? Just kidding.
Oh, no.
I'm kidding. You say that in every episode. No, that wraps up our fact cap questions. Well, how many did you guys get right? And we want to know.
Were you playing along at all?
Yeah, so we appreciate you guys, and we're gonna end this episode.
Yeah, until next time. Later.
Bye, guys. Intro in this video. No, I'm not doing
Yeah,
that.
you say like. She's rolling.
Don't touch my popcorn.
I'm not gonna. I have my own bag.
Oh, I knew it was a joke.
No, you didn't.
No, I knew you weren't gonna
The minute you walk in this house, you're gonna be like,
We don't talk about the inside. Finding someone. Is that a spider?
okay.
Keep eating.
Okay,
AJ!
okay, let's do it.
Thinking as we were going, like, how many did you guys get? What? I'm talking to our audience.
Why do you bother asking those questions?
I'm not fighting with the pregnant lady right now about her food. We're gonna hate